I'm Josh Krafchick, and I created the brand, the Millennial Slackers Guide, to teach you everything basically you didn't learn in school. And I have my friend Aaron here, and he owns a digital marketing?
Yeah, digital consulting, social media consulting business. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just started it not too long ago. He's in the trenches, and the reason I wanted to bring him on is because he is successfully building his business. It takes time, and he is not faking it. He's actually doing it, and he's just here to share his story and give you any value that you may find. So, Aaron, like, why digital marketing? Tell us how you got into that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I would say my career was, I always thought it was going to be more newspaper writing, sports writing, and that's why I grew up reading the LA Times. I thought one day would going to be an LA Times writer, New York Times writer for sports, and that was going to be the journey. And then I saw in college things started to become more digital. Um, you're starting to see the birth of Twitter in 2009 when I started to use it. That was a big deal. Microblogging, as one of my teachers told me, um, and then things like live blogging. So I'd live blog through games and stuff when I was a reporter on the beat.
Like sports
Uh,
games, video
Sports games.
games. You gotta
Sports
nowadays
games.
you gotta clarify because we got sports, we got esports.
We do. I mean, it's a whole new. I mean, I was telling someone the other day. I was like, esports and augmented reality, virtual reality is like the future. Um, but what I did was when I cover a game, a sports game for the newspaper, football game, for example, I would be live blogging instead of tweeting out like what had happened. I'd be live blogging like good run by number blank. And that so I started to see the transition from um, more print and physical articles to this digital world that was starting up. And so how I got into social media myself in the digital world was I landed a position with Turner Sports a year after college
Right.
and helped run NBA on TNT Social, NBA TV Social. Me and a team of 9 people. We're all recent college graduates, and great learning experience. And from then on, I just continued this path of social media, digital media, graphic design, all that stuff has kind of been a big part of my life. And so, yeah, that's where it's led me to this day and starting my own business.
Yeah. So walk us through because anything that you start, especially, did you start this in high school?
I started writing in high school. So I think that's been a good foundation for me. I think social media people just think it's all about can you write a good 140 character tweet? But I learned how to write well in college and high school so I can have a sense of that going forward when I'm posting to 1 to 5 million person accounts. It's very important to have good writing background.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, uh, I know that sometimes this isn't the most popular thing in high school doing these sort of things, but um, by starting early, you've been able to carve out a niche. How was that experience when you like first started? Like, were people receptive to it? Did people think like you're crazy, or were you just kind of like, I'm doing this no matter what anyone says?
Yeah, it was, I was interesting because it was kind of when I started in 2013, 2014, social media career was kind of the great unknown. There wasn't, people weren't receptive towards hiring a social media person, let alone someone that was a millennial that, might have grown up on social media, but they didn't know if they
Yep.
had enough skills to manage an account that had 1 to 5 million people. So majority of the time, like Turner Sports, before we were the first team to get there and really run social, they had the PR people doing it, the publicists, they had marketing people run social. Whoever was wanted an extra duty on this side would do social media. But then it turned into a priority where it was kind of focused in on you guys can run social 24/7. There was 3 editors that would always run it
Yep.
from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m. the next day. We were running social media every day. So it was a grind for sure. My parents at first were a little skeptical and saying,
Of
"Don't you like
course.
writing? There's always jobs in writing." Um, but eventually they stood and behind me and said, "This is your passion, and we're gonna stand by you and figure out if this is a viable option." And for the last 6 years, it's turned into a viable career for myself, which is nice.
Yeah, how was the first year? Or do you feel like comfortable now? How many years did it take to get your feet under you. I mean, I know when you start out any business, you pretty much have to accept failure and just keep going at it every single day. And eventually, like social media, it snowballs. Like the more consistent
Mhm.
that you are, the more people will catch on. I don't know if this is good or not, but I just deleted like my Instagram. I want to start completely fresh and just like start
Yeah.
from zero, which I felt like sometimes you got to do. So maybe walk us through like the beginning, the struggle, and maybe someone is trying to get a good message out there, but it's getting lost in you know, the millions and millions and millions of garbage posts that are out there.
Yeah, for me, over the years, I've learned that content is king, and whatever you're posting is the first part of. Does it matter? It's not. Does it matter to me and my family and my friends? Does it matter to people that I'm actually wanting to post to? Um, does it matter? Like for your example, for you, it's like, does it matter to the golf audience? Does it matter to the Florida audience? Does it? What does it actually entail that is good content at the end of the day? Is it a video? Is it a photo? Is it a GIF? Whatever it may be, you've got to have content that resonates with your followers so that you increase your followers. You get a good average engagement rate, which is important in this world.
It's like a
Uh,
good rate,
um, Anything over like 4%, honestly, in today's world. Like for
right?
athletes, some only have 2% engagement rate. They have 10 million followers, but they only have 2% actually engage with their audience, which is still a lot of people. But for a normal person, 6 to 20% is good. I've seen that with some athletes. I've seen that with some people, but that just depends on every time you post. If you have 200 people that you're posting to, and you get 20 likes, that's still something. That's
Better than
still
nothing.
it's better than nothing. So people always get worried about, I'm not getting enough likes, I'm not getting enough comments. But at the end of the day, if your engagement rate is pretty good, then that's something that you should be positive on, and you should weigh your posts out depending on that engagement rate. So worrying about your content is first, your voice is second. Having a fun, enjoyable, funny, humorous voice that can connect with an audience, that
Just
engaging and
like
not.
you mean just like being genuine, like not faking it. Just like if you like
Exactly.
if I'm on this interview with you and I screw up, it's like, oh, I just screwed up. No big deal. Like I'm human, and just like not
Exactly.
trying to be perfect and
Yeah,
put on a show. Like just be real.
exactly. Be genuine and authentic, and people will understand that and read that. I mean, the general audience, if you BS them, they'll see right through it, and they won't engage with you because they'll see, well, why should I engage with someone that's not authentic to themselves? I should just unfollow them and follow the people that actually are realistic and authentic and whatnot. So. That's important part of your social media strategy, and overall you build up a strategy over time. um, to me, the three like pillars of social media is content, strategy, and analytics. So if you
Yep,
can get your
yep.
content right, you can get the strategy, like the why am I posting, where am I posting it to, what am I posting itself, the strategy questions, and then you can also understand analytics, and even on a basic format, the engagement that I told you about. Then you can really start to build off, what I need to do next on my next post that really can matter over time. So yeah, that's um, those specific things are an important part to building up a social media account from day one. But um, it all starts with zero. Everyone started with 0 followers at the end of the day, and it's just about having fun.
For sure. So like walk us through that first year. What was like the biggest challenge you had to overcome starting your own business, taking that leap of faith, leaving did you did you leave Turner Sports? I mean, Turner Sports is a huge company. There's always
Yeah,
work at Turner Sports.
exactly. So I went from a 1 year contract at Turner Sports to almost 3 years at Bleacher Report in New York City, and then I came back home and worked for the NFL for one season, doing NFL Network social media. And then after that, 3 months after my NFL career was done under the shield, as they would say,
It was short
I,
lived.
it was short lived. It was one season, a contract. They do this a lot, actually. They bring in people for 7, 8, 9 months, and then they don't show them the door, but they say come back next season. Basically, they say there might not be a full time job for you, so come back next season. So people do this a lot, where they do 7 months in and out for the NFL season. But um, what happened was, when I started my own business, it was really it's almost learning how to sell yourself. which I never really learned myself. I never took sales classes in college. I never
Oh,
took
they don't teach you
um,
any of that.
they don't teach you sales 101, like how to sell yourself is important. Not how to sell something, but yourself is important because you want to get the point across that like I can help achieve your goals. I'm gonna I'm worth paying 500, 1,000, 2,000, $3,000 a month to, whatever it may be. And you got to learn how to strategize and really figure out what is your best sales point, how to build up a good presentation deck, how to follow up with people and say, do you still need my help? So that became a struggle at times. Sometimes I would get my viewpoints across and they would be totally on board with what I would do. I'd do a proposal
Hmm.
for them. And sometimes it'd be like, well, this is not exactly what we're looking for right now, or you're not exactly the services we need. Maybe we'll need you
You're
down
like,
the
what do
road.
you mean? I just answered all your questions, but you said you don't need me, and then I gave you the same, solving your problem here, but it's like
It's
people
not
don't
good
know
enough.
what they
Sometimes
want.
it's not good enough. Yeah, sometimes it's just not good enough for somebody. So that's, you know, what my dad taught me, and this might be some advice for your audience, is the worst someone can say is no. So, like, in terms of like, you're gonna hear more no's than yeses in this world sometimes, and you got to be prepared for the no's. It's gonna happen, and you've got to have a strong, yeah, the go for no. So you're gonna hear the no's, you're gonna hear the adversity, you're gonna have roadblocks, but at the end of the day, you've got to overcome those and say, well, I'm going to hear some yeses and it's going to be okay. And my business is going to run smoothly. So maybe I heard about 40 no's to me, 50 no's, but then I had about 9, 10 yeses in the first year.
Yeah,
So
where are you finding your clients? Was it friends? Was it social media? You were, sliding in DMs, sending
yeah,
messages. I believe we connected on LinkedIn.
exactly. So I've grown my LinkedIn database over 4,000 people, maybe closer to 5,000 now. And that's just been sports people, CEOs, a lot of people in the industry that is important. And so over a period of time, um, LinkedIn, I got my last 2 clients via LinkedIn. I just added them. I sent
Nice.
them my one little message that I hope would connect to them, and it did work out well. And then it's been referrals as well. I've gotten people that have said, I've worked with you in the past. I might have someone for you. Check them out. Call them, see what you can do. And some people have said, we really need your help. So I've had people, all kinds of people that have referrals and reached out. But LinkedIn and Instagram are probably the two biggest ways
Yeah.
to connect with people. I've had friends that have built businesses off of Instagram DMs. So when you're sliding in the DMs, it works sometimes.
Yeah.
I slide in through the LinkedIn DMs, and that works for me. So whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Yeah, so people who are starting a business, obviously in the beginning, it's really hard to hire a professional as yourself. What what recommendations do you have to them starting out, and at what point does it make sense? Like, all right, I've built up this brand, I'm getting some traction, I need to delegate, because when it comes down to it, I can study as much as I want, and I'm not going to be as good as you, no matter how hard I try. Like, I have faith that you will always be better than me. It only takes about 20 hours to learn a skill, so I
Hmm.
can learn digital marketing, but I mean, at what point do I got to go, all right, like I need to start investing dollars in the here to convert?
Yeah.
Um, Tell me about that.
Yeah, there's a point of becoming I understand a subject, I can be a part of it, but sometimes to become an expert in something, which maybe I'm not a full expert in social media, but I've learned over the 6 years that I'm going towards that path of becoming an expert in social media, and that takes time and skills and energy to really understand what it takes to be that person that people actually need.
Yeah.
You've got to be the resource. You got to tell them you're going to spend money, but I'm going to hit your goals, and these are why I'm going to hit. These are why I'm going to hit your goals, and these are the skills that I have that's going to make you successful on social media, on digital, on whatever it may be. So you've got to figure out what do you really offer to somebody.
The
Can you be a
value, the value that you can
what is,
offer.
what is what is your value? Can you be a problem solver? And how can you really help some business grow or a person grow, whatever it may be? And usually your skill set, your background, your knowledge helps you. But um, at the end of the day, if you don't know how to sell yourself, then you might not be able to get the sale at the end of the day. So I've
Yeah.
had to learn how to sell myself. These are the services I offer. This is who I am as a person. This is my experience. If you're interested, let me know. If you're not, that's totally fine. That's your prerogative. So
Yeah, I
Get that
mean,
out of the way.
it's really easy to sell someone else, like when you get that warm referral, like, hey, like talk to Aaron, or hey, talk to Josh. Like it's
Exactly.
immediate trust. But I mean, I personally, you may agree or disagree. I felt the best way to sell yourself is just show people that you care.
Exactly. No, I mean, I think that's very important. I can help you, but I'm really invested into what you want to do. I really care about your end goals. I've said that to clients even today. I was talking to a client, and it's like he's like, what do you need out of this?" And I said, "What makes me happy is getting your goals achieved, exceeding your expectations, and at the end of the day, you refer me to other people. That's perfect. That's perfect amount of currency in today's world. So that might lead to more clients for myself and can sustain my business longer than I want, longer, than I planned,
Yeah,
but keep growing it and growing and growing it to the point where it's a sustained business and I can live and pay my bills off of it.
of
So
course, live the
at the end
dream.
of the day, that's what's most important. And showing you care is very vital towards you getting that client in the first place, and you keeping that client at the end of the day is important as well. You don't
Yeah,
just want
I
them
mean,
to be a 1 month or a 2 monther, but you want them to be a 5, 10 monther, type of client.
yeah, I mean, I found that not everyone, even though you may be able to help someone, they may not be open to it. So it's important to keep the conversation open and not be a jerk to people on the front end. It's like, oh, you don't want to buy, like screw you. It's like, okay, well, like
Exactly.
if you need anything, just let me know. I'm here.
Exactly. Yeah,
So that way you don't burn that bridge or screw up that connection.
exactly. The useful thing that I've learned over a period of time is never burn bridges. If someone says no, that's totally fine. It's tough to repair a bridge that's already been burned. So what I say is build your bridges, but also maintain your bridges
Yep.
that you're building. Take the necessary care of it. On my phone, you would not believe how many um, uh, you know messages that say call this person, message this person, email this person, talk to Josh, talk to whoever it may be. So I keep maintaining that bridge, and they don't lose track. Well, Aaron talked to me 2 years ago. Now he's talking to me again. Now it's like, what happened over the last 2 years? You can't just come at someone like
Yeah.
that. So maintain that bridge is important too.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to do, but um, I guess the way to do that is you connect with someone, you post. If
Mhm.
the if the content's valuable, they will see it again, and they're engaged. And the idea is you want people reaching out to you, not you reaching out to people.
Exactly. So, I mean, and and that's good. At the end of the day, if they're reaching back out to you, you did something right, impression wise, to show some value for yourself. And that's important too. Is just I can't always be the one that reaches out, but every now and then, maybe
Yeah,
10% of the time, 15% of the time, I have people that reach out to me and say, "What's going on in your life? How's everything on your end? Are you staying safe through all this COVID stuff?" So it never hurts to just say, "Hey, how's it going? I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're doing well."
yeah,
Those simple small talk that they don't, you should learn when you grow up. But in today's world, it's all via text now. But at least to show them some love and maybe hop on a call every now and then with someone, it never hurts.
yeah. Of
Nothing
course.
else.
So wrap things up here because we don't want to keep the interview Joe Rogan length and be an 8-hour interview. Um, what recommendations would you have for someone who is on social media or looking to start an account, um, so that they can have some sort of takeaway from today? Do you recommend like them starting over? Do you think they should like change it up? People will have like a few thousand followers and don't want to start over. But I mean, what would you recommend doing to someone who's looking to build their brand from scratch into a viable business where people are reaching out to them to pay them, not just doing it for likes and followers?
Yeah. Okay. So two things. Have a focus for the account. What is this account going to be all about? And understand. What I learned at Bleach Report is understand your content buckets, is what they call them. Content buckets are like, I post about golf, I post about food, I post about traveling, whatever it may be. But stick to those content buckets. Don't go all over the place. So when people look for you and they find you on social media, they understand, well, he kind of posts these types of things. This is why I should follow him because
Is it
it's high quality.
is it okay to do all those different things, or do you think they should be separated? I mean, if it's, as people, we have different hobbies, but we
Exactly.
also want to make sure that we're not like looking like a crazy person on social media, posting like cats and dogs. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're either a cat person or a dog person.
I mean, that usually does well in social media is like, puppy content, sad content, stuff that's like engagements, positive content always does well. Getting a new puppy, getting a new house, whatever it may be. People love that type of positive energy. In today's world, social media needs to be more positive. Twitter is filled with trolls and whatnot, and I've dealt with them a lot of the time over the last 6 years. People trashing my tweets and posts, whatever it may be, and that happens. That's the name of the game, which I understand. But at the end of the day, have some sort of focus for your account. Have some sort of idea of what types of content am I posting, where is it going, and when you build off that strategy, then you start to see what's working well, what's not working well. Using the analytics, the numbers helps your strategy over and over again to make you change strategy. Say, hey, the puppy content does really well, but the food content doesn't do so well. So should I do more puppy content? Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. But obviously, at the end of the day, have some sort of focus for your account that really shows the audience that you have a drive, you have a content strategy, and you're not just posting every type of picture you're seeing. At
Of
the end of the
course.
day, I always thought Instagram was but in the early stages, I thought it was take a picture of a trash can, put a cool filter on it, and call it urban art. You know, and that's what I thought Instagram was at the beginning. But now, like Instagram as a platform is like actually care about what you're posting, actually make it look visually cool. Um, use some of these apps that are amazing that are out there that can really change up a photo, make it unique, make it hit your account very well. So, at the end of the day, have some drive, have some passion, but stay on point with your account and use those three things I talk about: content, strategy, and analytics. If you can understand those three basic things and build off of that and educate yourself, then you can understand what you need to do socially to become successful. And it's not going to be overnight, but it takes some time and nurturing to actually be successful in social. And it's taken me time to realize, how things work for myself to be successful in social media. It's a lot of time and energy.
Of course. Well, this is really valuable stuff. It's hard to know what is real and not real when it comes to social media. So
Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of value to the content that we have today, which that is key. Provide value to
exactly.
everyone, and eventually you'll build up the following. So Aaron, thank you very much for being here today on the Millennial Slackers Guide, helping teaching you about things they didn't teach you in school. So
Yeah.
really, really value you taking the time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. And if you want to follow me anywhere or look at my business, it's just www.eismandigital, EISMAN
Yeah,
digital.com.
checked
So
out your
that's out there.
some of your videos are really cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. And they can see what I'm doing on social media on my Instagram account, Eisman Digital as well. And if you have any referrals for me, I give a referral bonus. So happy to if you send me clients, I'm always appreciative.
Awesome, dude.